Society Sound Popcast.
Hey, so what's up, man? Welcome back.
Yo, so I thought of where the perfect place to start this. Like, in terms of, like, as I know, like, what we left off on a long time ago, and we never got to touch back on.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
But how about, I gotta ask you.
So start further. Like, hey, let's talk about the plug and play. I don't know. It's just like, it feels like, now we gotta orchestrate the thing.
Well, I just came back from Colombia, right? And so, bro, I've just been discovering like new salsa every single day now.
Because you were in Cali?
And I have, yeah. And so like my algorithm, I don't know, it's just, my algorithm is Cali'd out.
Every time un caleño se conoce con otro, you guys just dance salsa, but to a new song. So like every time you meet a new person, it's a new song.
Yeah.
For sure. I figured that's how it worked out there.
That's exactly how it is.
Yep.
We don't even say hi. We just get straight into footwork.
I was like, tinku, and then
exactly.
Gotcha.
Hey, so
Classic.
Okay, so that's one. All right, so now that we're like 5 months, like literally 5 months, maybe going into 6, really, of just a year of just great music, just people that are really famous and really talented, that work with really talented people and have a crazy team. There's this un chamaquito que se llama Baboni. And he dropped the album, right?
Chamaquito.
And you were saying something to the effect that like, it's cool. Like, I'm not really too excited, And I mean, that was your initial kind of like, whatever. He cool, whatever. Like, how are we feeling now? How are we feeling after it's dropped and have you heard the album?
Yes. I have heard the album. I would say a few times, and not like because it's on a replay, right? Like not that type of, I listened to the album a few times. It's more like we were in a party and we played through the whole thing because it was the newest thing, right? And then hold on, let me ride in the car and listen to this thing myself. And then it's like, I gave it a chance for sure. So I like it.
Wow, that is still like the safest, like the most like, but gatekeeping ass goddamn answer.
No, but it's true. Like, look. I still stand by everything I said. By the way, what
did you say? Remind the people what you said.
Yeah, so I just don't be excited about stuff, man. I wasn't excited, and I was like, all right, here you go. I'll give it a listen or whatever it was. And so like, because even whatever you asked me about Un Verano Sin Ti or that's type of like I stand by how I like opinionate on the music that I like or not like, right? Like whether did I like it or did I not like? That's just pure enjoyment or not. That's it. For the new album for Debí Tirar Más Fotos, right? Man, him bringing the salsa like the way he did, it was really refreshing because I'm like, I feel like, dang, you really tried. Meaning like you really gave it the effort like a record deserves. And the stories with like how he chose the musicians and like him even really directing it himself. And even though he could choose like bigger salsa producers, didn't do that. He chose young guys. So like it all makes sense. All in all though, I could say this, right? And this is like a bit, I'm an outsider. Let's consider this like, because I'm not Puerto Rican, right? And I'm not a salsero country, right? Like El Salvador is not Colombia per se. So I'm an outsider too. Like I'm just literally getting to enjoy the music just for what it is as it's coming at me. And so when it's like that, I can really enjoy it because I don't have a criticism in my bone. I don't have like, I know better. So I don't have that in me. So when we're listening to reggaeton though, not that we make reggaeton in El Salvador, it's just that I've been in reggaeton world in my head for a really long time, or rap music here in Atlanta, or, we were on IDS and I'll talk mad smack about Latin trap music, but it's because I'm from here, So in the same exact space, what I'm trying to get at is this. Bad Bunny in this album made me feel again like I'm just, hey, you're the listener, enjoy the music. And he did that by bringing salsa to the table and the way he combined the things. And my favorite song on there, I don't know if you want to know the favorite song on there.
Sure.
Is Ale for sure. And of course it's Tiny You know what I'm saying? Ale is the crack.
That reggaeton.
Like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, ale feels like the first time we all heard reggaeton. If you're not Puerto Rican, cause I can't speak on those guys. You know?
And so basically, you're looking at it from a standpoint where like he basically did the job so well that you really can't even say nothing. Like that's really what you're saying. That he did the job so well that he's like, man, just sit down and just like when like the same time. Remember when they asked him like, yo, what do you think about people that they don't understand? Da, 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 da. How do you feel about it? He was like, I don't care, right? And it's like he don't even care that like half of Latin America is not gonna understand most of the slang and the references and the deep like meanings and references of all of the shit that he be talking about in the songs, in the music,
there's
everything.
No way.
You have to be Puerto Rican.
The only reason I think we know is because all the Puerto Rican people caught the Easter eggs, right? Like they know exactly what he's talking about, and so we got the internet now, as opposed to in 2005 when the internet, there wasn't just so much information so like instantly available.
Right.
So we got to kind of like we were along for the ride. I could say that people were explaining it, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And so so feeling that kind of depth in the records. And one thing on the L joint though, I'll tell you that I'm actually really upset about. Like really upset about. Like and it's because I like it. Because the record has the flip, the intro, and then it flips into the thing. It has the crazy motorcycles and all that kind of stuff. I think. But the point is, I wish I could hear it for the first time. Again. You know, like now that you know you're expecting the flip, now that you're like you know where it's about to come, it's not as exhilarating as the first time.
Yeah.
Because the first time it's almost terrifying when it happens, and you're like,
if you go back to like that week, because I didn't hear it the day that it dropped or something. Like no, I did. It was a Sunday, but I did hear most of it, but I heard the last half of it like later on, right? And so, but if you check back to that week, that's the one song that I sent you. Because I knew you weren't going to like check to like through the whole thing or however your process was going to be. But that if you go back to that week, you already know. Is the one that I sent you, by the way.
So what you're saying is that I'm incredibly consistent and you know exactly what I was going to like and that you sent to me exactly the thing that I'm consistent about.
Some people call it being predictable. But, you know.
Damn. When is that a bad thing? That's called being reliable. That's what some people call that.
Predictable. Well, I guess, you know, it's like
synonym,
some people,
homonym, what do you want to call it?
I don't know why. Why is it derogative when you're like predictable? Who?
Predictable? You know? I mean, well, it's said in a...
Some people do.
It's usually...
Nah, you mad predictable.
Well, you know, in our world of like ADHD or whatever it is, like being spontaneous is like sexy and stuff like that. So being predictable would be exactly the opposite.
Exactly. You're a basic bitch.
But I'm reliable is what it is, bro, and people know that. People know that.
Nah, yeah, man. I mean, it was a really really strong, like, recreation of like a time. Sure. That AO joint, bro. Like he really hit it. Even like the vocals, the way the shit like takes you on the ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that
and
song...
his outro, I ain't gonna lie, my bad. I pause it at the outro. I skip it because I heard it that one time and I felt offended, dog.
Oh, the outro of L.
Like,
I thought you were talking about the
he's basically like, yo, fuck y'all.
I'm with it.
Puerto Rico's the shit. And over here, we make fucking reggaeton. You know what I'm saying? But hey, he stood on that shit.
Like I just said, I'm an outsider at the end of the day. That's how I feel. And I'm just here to appreciate it. Like, hey, bro, good. You know what? Yeah. I'm glad he did because everybody else needs to step up. That's how I feel. You know, because even like the features that he on there were all right. You know, so like but he got a lot of new people. So it's okay. You don't have the development yet.
They're
or
strategic.
The catalog.
They're strategic.
Oh, super.
Strategic on the male side collabs, but then on the women's side, like it's like real people that are like art. From there.
Hey, people art people too. Yeah. Like people making good stuff.
Exactly.
I like all of it. I think you know him bringing in. You know how like they the homage to the. He included all the rhythms, right, like plena and like bomba and stuff like that. That like I would never even know what that's called. Sure. I've probably heard it 1,000 times, just never knew what it even was. Mm-hmm. But because he did that, it's like the first time Like I heard reggaeton and there was other elements in there, like a bachata element, and you're like, what is this sound? You know, it felt exactly like that. For L again, because that's the one for me is the one yeah that melody is the best melody in the entire album. I mean, reggaeton wise, I guess, because the salsas are pretty good too. But that's the best melody for sure. And I'm like, nah, he hit another lane when he hit that little melody that felt nostalgic.
I was about to say.
Yet new. But it was kind of like new. So nobody really stepping on that type of time, for real. Now, hopefully,
they can try.
I just wish he was a better vocalist, you know, in the perfect world. Like, you know, does that make sense? Like, just...
No. I mean, I feel you, but... Like, I can respect what you're saying, but I think that's what we like about it. That it's not perfect. There's like a rawness to it. You know what I mean? If it was just a little bit too perfect, now you're like Jay Wheeler or something, like, or you're like.
Well, when I say vocalist, like I wish his instrument had a little more capacity, because like even when he hits the falsettos, like they're not clean the way I know falsettos to be, because I'm in R&B land over here, you know. So I just been like that his actual vocal ability was a little stronger. That'd be really cool. But a lot of times you don't have the voice box, you know what I mean? So that's cool. And you're right. I think that's because of that challenge, he knew how to use that instrument. He's like, all right, cool. This is what I got. I'm gonna go crazy like this, and all the other records too, prior to even this. Because at first it was so low that I was like, no, bro, I cannot listen to this. The same way that when Drake came on the scene, I cannot listen to this. And 21, and guess what? I love both of those guys now. You know, like, because their vocal, you know, like, development was incredible. And then Bad Bunny as well, like, he really developed as well. So pretty consistent and reliable in those kinds of opinions.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can have your opinion for sure, but I mean, if you say that, you have to pay attention to the way that he delivered that first Mami, tú sabes que tú eres loca. You know what I'm saying? And the way he did this shit is just like, nasty. It's like, bro, like, nasty. What are we?
That was nasty.
What are we saying? The vocal, like, there's nobody I feel like, in music, like, the only one that can hit a tone like that or even a vibe like that and make you feel that shit like that is like Chencho. And there's like nobody else. Maybe Chencho, maybe still like obviously like the Delas and the Randys and the.
I mean, they got,
you know what I mean,
really
like,
cool range, but nah, because there's like a combo of like raspy, and it's got to feel intense too. Like, because those guys can hit those high ranges, but they don't feel, because they can reach it, they don't feel intense. Like, say your Osuna's, it's up there. It's really nice, but it ain't intense.
And I think that there's certain characters.
Baby Rasta goes next to Chencho, by the way.
I was about to say him too, but I still don't. You know, like, he's probably graduated. That's what I was about to say next, is that, like, I think that there are certain characters in the, you know, the whole Latin urban space that we know and we love them, right? Like, say like a Arcángel, or say like a Dela, or say like a Randy Joel. But those characters, they don't. That is the character that we know and love. Is play that character every single time. We love you. Thank you.
You'll never go wrong.
You know what I'm saying? But then somebody like Bad Bunny, he's like, it's almost like he got 5 different characters to choose from. You know what I mean? And it's just, he might give you the salsa now, or he might give you a fucking, like, real, like, no me quiero casar, or he might give you the goddamn the AO joint, or he might give, like, real down and, like, that sentimental, and be like, give you that, like, aguacero, or that.
I think that's what, you know? Arcángel definitely always, like, pays him respects for, right? Like, just breaking so many barreras, because just off of just taking it in another global space, and where everyone's included into the space, and it's like, hey, you know,
because if we see goddamn,
I don't hate Buddy, man.
If we see, I was about to, if we were to see Arcángel doing like a tour, and then, you know, having some question of like sus kind of like dancers, and then he turns and gives them a kiss on the lips, and then he'd be like, yeah, yo, that's not the character that I bought into.
Arcángel, right. That's not that guy.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, you know,
that's clean.
It's like,
That's clean.
Bro, it's like, yo, that guy,
Bad Bunny did it, man.
Hey, es como él dijo, bro, yo hago lo que me da la gana. And he really shows that. He's been showing us that ever since. He had already been feeling it. He just had to let us know. And he's just been showing us that ever since.
For sure.
Which, that's what I respect the most, I think. If it was to like boil it down, it's like, yo, that motherfucker, he does whatever the fuck he wants. And guess what? He created a fucking classic, bro. You seen them weddings, them videos of weddings?
I haven't.
With the salsa, with the baile inolvidable? It's like, it's out of here.
I haven't seen any wedding footages or like
No? Oh, okay.
content per se, but
Oh, yeah, my shit is flooded with that shit right now.
I bet.
Yeah, my algorithm is straight just all types of everything weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cries in silence. That's
No. But wish y'all the best of luck.
right. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
Man, no. So that's that, man. So hopefully the people don't crucify me. You know, whoever's actually listening to the podcast and go, oh, got him. I don't know.
Nah, your ass definitely gave like a still very like poised kind of reaction, but you love that shit. Like,
I love those few songs.
Behind all of this, don't let this fool you.
Oh, no.
Behind all of this, Esco loves that album.
Hold on, album is too crazy. Album is too crazy. What's Buddy's song? The one with the We Seen outro. That's not Davey. It's not Davey.
Yeah, it's the one with Davey y el otro.
Omar Courts.
It's both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like first go, which is like first listen through. I'm like, boy, this is a super skipper. Like I was about to skip because I'm not really into their sound, like their style or whatever it is. Because I'm sure they hard though. Like I've been hearing about Davey for a long time. And then Omar Courts is a little newer to me, but like I was like, oh, okay, new guy, cool. And so I didn't really pay attention too much. And they were on the album, and then the song came through, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, these guys. And I was listening, and my first impression, I don't know, I was a little underwhelmed at first, right? So I was like, it's cool.
That song is cool.
And then
just cool.
And then though, we seen coming with the outro.
Yeah.
See, those are my heroes, man.
Can we play it one time, or is
we're gonna get flagged? Yeah.
Is that yeah?
We're gonna get flagged. It's taken down from Spotify. It's gonna get terrible.
Can we just like listen to it real quick and just edit it out?
we're also now on Spotify, just in case anybody.
Hey,
so you can find Society's on Popcast on Spotify, video and audio. Just saying,
man.
I don't know who you heard.
Out of here. I don't even know how you did that, bro. Like that shit. I thought that it's like.
But we just talked to our Spotify guy, bro. You know, I just had to call the head of music intelligence over there, and then we just, made it happen.
What's crazy too is that I just found out that it was on Spotify. Well, that it was the video, because I thought it was just like the audio. Because I was in Colombia when you sent it to me, I checked it like a couple of days later. But when I checked it, I guess maybe the video didn't pop up. I don't know.
But it's like a switch. You got to click whether you want which you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, because even Theo Von's podcast, I've been seeing I've been tapping in on his for a minute, but then he was on Joe Rogan, and then in the middle of the podcast they were like, yo, so we're gonna do a quick pause, but we're gonna come right back because the last half of this is gonna go on Theo's podcast.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it kind of ended, and you had to go to Theo's podcast, and
that's kind of cool.
And that was the first time that he had video on there. And then after that, he started having all video. So I was like,
on Spotify,
I was like, oh, Joe Rogan is nasty. I mean, obviously,
he put that boy on.
Yeah, he put him on.
That's a cosign. That's a super duper cosign.
So that's what you did essentially. You just hit Joe.
Yeah.
Theo Joe.
Yeah. Me Theo Joe. Yeah. Set it up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's how. Oh, okay, that's how it happened. That's
normal,
hard.
Normal.
That's hard. Yeah. Man, it's been what, like 3 months now? No, going on 3 months since the plug and play.
That was March.
That was March.
March 15, I think, something like that. 13, 15.
Yeah. I just want to tap in on that real quick because, man, like,
yeah,
it felt really good. It felt really good to finally come in to number 3.
Yeah,
land it.
Man,
take right back
finally,
off.
Right? Like it's like a big check off the list. And I'll say my satisfaction comes from us sitting here at this table and saying, "Yo, what do you want out of the plug and play?" And you're like, "What do you want out of the plug and play?" And, you know, we both had an answer. I said I wanted to get content out of it, and you wanted a lot of new faces, and that is exactly what we got in the building.
Yeah.
Man. So many new faces.
Yeah.
And really good photos, man. Finally, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So.
Shout out to the guys too with the Cinco Pistas nonprofit, you know, that really came through.
Yeah.
And really like
big shout out to Paul.
Really helped us.
Place.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
To Paul, to Luis from Mojitos, to Drew.
Yep.
You know, Drew Castro, man, he pulled up with the crack with that one dude with the photos.
The photos, yeah. I hope that those are really serving people in whichever way they need.
Yeah. I think you know, I'm just mad that we didn't. I'm just mad that we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't
end up taking.
We didn't. What?
Yeah. It be your own people, man. Yeah. Nah, well, you know, eran atracciones para la gente.
We need a manager.
Yeah. Hey, not for real.
Yeah, we need somebody to manage our managing. Because man, we are well when you're on stage and stuff like that. You know what's so funny? We did the raffles, right? We just gave away Balvin tickets and whatever else that we gave away. Mm-hmm. So I got off the stage because we had a break in the segment, and I was like, "Yo, let me just go check on the front and check on my sister." And I was just talking to my sister was doing the front desk thing, and then so I was talking and and she asked me something about the buckets. I'm like, yeah, they're finna raffle off. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, they're finna raffle off. And she goes, these are the names. Don't you need that? I'm like, I'm like, that's what's going on right now. Hold on. So I like grabbed the bucket and just run to the stage. And then it was funny because y'all were like, hello, is it good anybody? It's like they were like calling for it at the exact same time probably that I realized it. And so I ran back. It was just really funny. Just accidentally run into it.
I think in the room we're like, where's the bucket? I was like, yeah, Esco's going to get it.
Yeah, y'all just thought, no, I did not go get it. Like but I ran into it, and then I was like, oh, this is happening right now.
Funny.
Whoopsie. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Look at us.
We are just definitely not events kind of just people, bro. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. And it's such a live event. I feel like it's what we've been saying, right? Like that is the last plug and play, right?
Correct.
As we know it. You know what I mean?
Obviously, there's always an as we know it.
Yeah. You know, but it's like you know, it definitely served us,
man,
for what we needed,
and it served everyone,
and it served everybody else too.
Yeah, man.
And even this last one, there's a bunch of people that connected with some really cool people.
Oh my goodness!
In the building, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, and really actually making real life-changing moves right now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's so epic.
And so that's just awesome, bro.
Man,
this is exactly what we wanted for the city, exactly what we wanted for our people. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're really just creating, like, more and more. You know that I'm not good at this, at like being like aware of like what we're doing and all of this.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better at it. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, like
the results of things.
Yeah, I've always just been more a part of like in my mind, I've always approached things with just like, cool, do that thing that you're good at and keep it moving. Right. And then do it again, because it's like it doesn't serve anything to just like bask in like all this glory or glorifying things. It's like, bro, you're dope at what you do. I expect nothing less. Yeah, because you know what I mean.
Yeah, because it could be off-putting if somebody is just walking around, look what I'm doing, look at what I'm doing, which is pretty much social media
for sure.
But it's like if people walked around talking about that, it's like, are you actually doing that? Or like at that point, it's like, who are you trying to convince more than us? You just like, people try to convince themselves or whatever. So I'm always aware of that type of thing. But you know what's really cool, per like the plug and play is an example of, there was also a different approach when we first did the plug and play, because we and our like said we were building our partnership in society and things like that. We just didn't know who was around in the city, which people have heard this part already. And so we go, hey, who are we going to find that we can collab with? And who are we going to find that we can work with? So we did it, I'm not going to say selfishly, but out of like a need that we had. And I expected actually different results, but what we accidentally did or a byproduct was that everybody started collabing with each other, and people started living together, and people started like making music together. It's like, It just became something that I actually didn't even really expect that it was gonna turn into. And so by the time that we got to Plug and Play 3, and remember where the first one got, the first version of Plug and Play 3 was canceled because the city of Atlanta shut it down. But then, like, the fact that this Plug and Play 3 went as crazy as it went, I'm like, dude, this is exactly what we wanted. This is
like
exactly
we went out with a bang.
Went out with a super bang, man. Like, man, and we got to prove something, right, to the other guys, to the Cinco Pistas guys that are like super involved and supportive in those type of events and the concerts that we talked about them having, and the Tony Succar thing happened, right, shortly after the Plug and Play. That Tony Succar came through, and so there was a lot of musicians from the city that played with Tony. Almost a whole band, I would say, was.
Yeah, he only brought a couple of pieces that are just, kind of key to his production.
Exactly, right. So it's like him, the timbalero, his mom, the singer, like I think the piano player or something like that. It wasn't too many other parts, but yeah, so like those opportunities in that space, and moving on in the future, hopefully we can continue to do more similar things like that too in the concert space. So there's a lot to look forward to, for real.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely fed this rule that I heard from a long time ago, and I really like it. It's called the 49-51 rule. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like basically you're just always giving back a little bit more than what you take.
Oh wow.
And so if you just kind of approach, I feel like ever since I heard it, I feel like I had already been doing that. But then this is exactly that. Is like, we gave a little bit more than whatever we get from it.
Correct.
But we also get something from it,
sure,
which is meeting new faces, meeting new talent in the city, being like, oh, okay, those are reggaeton guys, and those are urban trap guys, and here's some like percussionists. We just met so many people, bro.
Yeah.
And there's so many people to connect with, and I think the next thing is like that main Rolodex though. Which I mean, if we could throw out like a little teaser, I guess, is the what we're doing with Cinco Pistas, and then eventually, hopefully, that does become this like mean Rolodex where you can sign up and become a part of like a mean community and get gigs and all that good stuff, Just like really create work for people. I think that's gonna be
precisely
the end thing for like Cinco Pistas. So we're working on it. We're working on it though.
Yeah, it's a lot of work too.
Yeah,
that's pretty fire, man.
Yeah.
Dog, where's that put us now? Like, man, so much time has passed really since we were able to hop on podcast mode. Glad we're here today. Where's that put us?
Yeah. I mean, I think now we just coast. You know what I mean? Like the people that we've made enough noise. Now it's just like
to get to work.
Coast meaning like get to work. Like
that's what I think.
Like get like everything. Just take it day by day.
Yeah.
Make new records.
Yeah, because
keep creating with the folks around us.
The standards don't change, right? Like because we're always like drop music, and there's a part for us in there, where it's like, yo, we need to be putting stuff out and making sure that. But obviously it's always on the artist. We work with a lot of artists, but it's like until they release, it looks like we haven't released anything, right? But there's a lot of work at least going on at the very least. Yeah,
for sure, man. I just see it like we've met the people that we needed to meet.
Okay.
And now it's like, cool. Now just get to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have the team.
Yeah.
The team is set. Now there could be some players that come in. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Spend some time with us, whatever, and then we might develop new relationships. But for me, the team is set.
That's hard.
You know what I mean? I think the city is still missing that thing that we talk about, which is like that whole like a real hit maker. You know what I mean? Like a damn a hero, like you said the other day.
Sure.
And I think that we're still missing that one piece, and it might happen here and it might not,
Yeah, I think that like you there has to be like a road like paved for a superstar, right? Like so, going back to Bad Bunny, like there's so many that came before him that paved the road, and even if there is beef, like Balvin still also was part of paving the road for Bad Bunny, because as Bad Bunny was building, that was like a strong collab for Bad Bunny to be like, yep, I'm on par with these guys, and to then surpass. So I just think that in Atlanta, we're going to need to be able to continue paving roads so that one star may emerge,
Yeah.
and the starting from and not limited to, what back when we talked to like Flaco, and we were talking about Flaco and Capital the other day, and all the history that they went down on IDS, which the people should definitely go watch that podcast on IDS that we did on In the Spot with those guys. It was super, super fun. And but they were the beginning of paving the road. Like, imagine that without those guys, the plug and play doesn't happen, right? And then those guys are at the plug and play, paying respects and doing some interview stuff as well. So as far as a hero that's coming out of Atlanta, either we're still paving the road, or maybe they emerge next week and we don't know it, or but it's up for grabs. I think it's somebody go crazy.
It is definitely up for grabs. And I mean, I don't want to talk too much on say what we are cooking right now.
Bueno, es que nosotros somos la sociedad secreta, for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And so, I don't want to say too much, but we cooking something pretty tasty, pretty out of here.
A little bit of steak.
You know?
I'm saying, the filet mignon.
Man, what is that? Caipirinha. No, what is it? That's the drink.
Una empanada.
That's a Brazilian drink.
That's a Brazilian drink. Thank you, Sid. Our fellow
thank you, Sid.
drink correspondent, international drinks correspondent.
Yeah, Sid's going to Portugal. He would know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He would know.
That boy cultured.
Yeah, he would know.
Hey, glad to be here, guys.
Hey, great to have you back.
Always.
God damn it.
Always, man. Sid'd be traveling the world. He was in LA 2 days ago. That guy's a superstar, bro.
Getting tatted up by famous people, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I gotta keep up with y'all.
You
Y'all
said
are
Brad
cool as
Pitt.
hell.
You said Brad Pitt did it?
Sure, why not?
That's funny.
But yeah, man, cooking up. It's not now. It's just go time, bro. Now it's just go time with the people that are around us, and I love creating, spaces and like opportunities for people to thrive in. You know what I mean? And I think that that's something that I want to focus on for the rest of the year, and it's just being able to create opportunities for people to create in our space,
Right.
And it doesn't always have to be us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of hand it over to whoever can get the job done. You know what I mean? I mean, we've been training up some of our guys that work here at the studio, and then we have just so much talent around us now that we can go, okay, we got you the engineer, we got you a producer, we got you a this, we got you a songwriter, so y'all go crazy. You know what I mean?
I think that's partly a good segue into by the time this podcast is out, the mix shop will be tomorrow, but by the time the podcast is out, the thing is, I think there's still like an education or like a foundational piece missing, obviously we want to create the opportunities like you're saying. And I think there's like a pillar there, there's a pillar there on the education side. And I would like a little more foundation for the city, so I'm doing the mix shop this go around, and we did one with Prizzy last go around, which Prizzy was also on the podcast. But it's about like imparting wisdom and people investing in themselves and going just a little further than I do this at home, or I really like this, or I just really, this is something that me and my homie's been doing forever long. It just takes it to another standard. It's the same as buying an expensive microphone. So it's like, did you get the $300 mic at the crib, or did you buy a $2,000 microphone? Which one day, we bought a U87 and it's 3 bands, right? And so, and then next we're gonna get, a Telefunken one of these days, right? We gotta get a Sony C800, So I think that part of us like making way and opportunities and da 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 is stuff like the mix shop. And I would like that call to action for people to be like, hey, look, tap in, come to the mix shops, come learn foundational items, because even if you're not an engineer and you're an artist, you still need to know this information. Like if you're a singer, like it's just whatever it is, you could be a producer, a beat maker, and all of it is, you could be a DJ. Like it's all like, it all translates. All the information super translates. And I think that's how we'll be able to continue to build on top of what we've started. And it's just more education. That's where my heart is at. I'm like, yo, can people please show up and like rock and roll? Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna get this.
I think that's still falling in line on this like 49-51 rule, man. And so that's gonna be dope once we really kind of like kind of find the people that are wanting to tap into that. You know what I mean? Because right now it definitely feels like where are they? You know, are they going to school? Like, I mean, obviously this is like real world scenarios that you're gonna walk into. I think is cool. Like, what do you think we should do with like the whole like scheduling of it all? Because I know we've talked about it a little bit, but I think it's cool if we just talk about it openly right now. Is like, should we do it like once a month? Should we do it like twice a month? What like what do you feel in your heart that it should, how should it like play out?
Man, if in a perfect world, this is there's different versions of it in a perfect world, right? So like for some, like it would evolve into a course, and there's like an 8-week course, and then 8 weeks is only 8 days, you know, right? Because every Saturday for 8 weeks. So it would kind of look like that. So you'd have pockets of that. And so you'd go in knowing that you're going to start at a thing. And by the end of the course, you're going to walk away with like, you call it a society sound certificate, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so like you get to that level of it. And so I think that's how it's supposed to look, because we could kind of one-off it and there's kind of a thing. But like if there is a young person, and I love for us to focus on young, right? Because it's like, you're not as tired as we are at 33. Not that we're old. It's just that we already went through so many scenarios that it's like, man, like if you're young and you're 23, like you have a lot more energy to go through the pockets, and that's who we need to uplift the foundation, to really work the foundation, right?
Or even younger.
So
you know?
yeah, especially younger. Yeah, 17, 16.
Yeah, go ahead and get started.
Yeah, go ahead and get started, because by 21 you're a monster, and especially if you come learn over here, you're gonna be a monster.
Right before I went to Full Sail, I had won this. I was going to like a little technical high school kind of program thing, and I had won tickets to go to AES convention. Right? You remember those?
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have those.
Yeah, they're still going.
They're still going,
sure.
huh?
Yeah. It's like a global nerd central.
And so they had a raffle at the convention, and I won tickets to go to like a Pro Tools 101 course at Stankonia, dog. So
That's
this was
crazy.
before I went to Full Sail.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I was still like, so it was probably senior in high school type shit.
That's nasty.
And so that was pretty cool, because it definitely feels like exactly what you're talking about right here. But it was definitely, I remember being for sure like the youngest in that motherfucker. You know, like there was, you know, probably 28 and up kind of deal. You know what I mean?
There always is.
You know? But that's probably around the time that you're probably able to afford those kind of things. But I think that the way we're doing it is really cool, bro, because it's like way more intimate. I mean, I think that we should even scale it down from like 10 slots to 5 slots.
Where?
You know what I mean? Make it like real intimate.
Yeah.
And then have it be like, I do like what you're saying though too, about like being able to like start at a basics kind of foundational kind of thing,
right?
And then
at
the end of it, walk away with like a real like understanding of like the things that at the very least you can walk into other rooms and talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because I remember exactly what you just said. Going when we went to Miami a few years ago. So not for the Latin Grammys that we had gone to, but we went a few years ago, and I remember walking into the studio at Not Hit Factory. What was it called? Rich Music. Rich
Music. Yeah.
And either way, as soon as I walked into that room, it was identical to a room that I had already built, and it's like White House Burgers, SSO Origin, 1073s, Maggie Q's, LA28, like all the nerd out of everything. And then, and it's like you just sit down and it's already yours. It's already your ship. Right? And this is my car. I'm going to drive it right now, and it was funny because I think whoever the producer was in the room was like, yeah, no, we got to wait on the engineer. Me and you look at each other like, we don't got to wait on the engineer. Don't worry about it.
They were low-key making an excuse, like they didn't even want to record type shit.
They didn't want us to cook, bro. We walked in heavy. We heavy hitters, bro. So like, they started shaking in their little boots. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's why they didn't like you over there in Miami, huh?
Nah, for sure. I definitely caused ruckus, bro. Sorry, man. Sorry, your spirit ain't right. You know what I mean? it's
God.
Yeah, it's probably me. It's probably me. It's my fault.
No, we walked in lit.
Sí, como las 2 de la mañana. Boys had like 2 bottles of wine back to back. It was a vibe.
2? It was like 4.
I don't
From what I
remember.
remember, it was a lot of bottles of that. And then we was already drinking. Matter of fact, speaking of which, God damn, what is this? Vodka? What's going on here?
Agüita.
Or are we waiting for the boys?
I don't know what you're talking
Okay.
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Arr.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I just would love to replicate more people and just like people coming out of like a system that's real and a system that works, and I'm proud to say, as you mentioned it during the plug and play segment we talked about, but people, other engineers, they love Society Sound, and they say you guys are doing it right, which is funny because I don't know what that means. I don't exactly know what doing it right means, but I do have people that I look up to, right? So like as a person that I came out of Silent Sound, right? And Ken Oriole was on the podcast, and Ken said, yeah, Silent Sound was one of my favorite places because it was just always like rocking. Like, it was always running. Everything was like respectful. Everything. It's like all the things. And it's like, man, que escuela, loco. Like, wow, like that's what it is. And then TK has like a really high record for like successful people that came out of Silent Sound.
Yeah.
And they all became somebodies, and it's like, bro, that's what I want our legacy to be. That's what I want Society Sound's legacy to be, is that the people that came and worked here went on to be great, and that's part of why I'm doing the mix shop, because I have a really big heart space for that, and I want people to do that. And I can say that per my track record of where I've been is like Sid said it a second ago, but Sid, and I appreciate you, like the amount of people that have crossed my path, and those guys are rocking and rolling. And I talked to Nick Dexter yesterday. And man, the kid's doing like stadiums, live sound stadiums, and and I didn't really teach him live sound. Like, although I do live sound, but I didn't teach him live sound. Like, he just sat in the chair next to me, and he learned a lot of fundamentals, and he just took it and became great. So like tú sabes como es como un granito de arena. You play your part, and you put a little bit in, and it's up to the person to then go around with it and become completely who they're supposed to be. So I know I touched a lot of topics there, but like, man, that's what I want for Society Sound, is that legacy and continue to, replicate.
Yeah, I think we're heading in that direction for sure. And like I said, I feel like we've done enough like of the big events and trying to get to know the people in the city. I feel like we did enough of that. Now people just got to come here and learn here and work here and just use the space. I would actually, just be completely frank, is like, man, like I want this shit to be a little bit more like used, like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, from like with Sid and the video stuff, or Sid and the music stuff, which Sid spent like a whole week over here going crazy.
Dude, that session was wild. Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
All right. Pause.
All right. So
hold on.
Sid.
So
Talk to Sid.
So Sid. No, so bro, the session was wild. We spent so far 6 days, right, Sid?
Yeah, 6 days, and I think we got 2 more days probably. So,
dang,
Ooh,
dang,
nice.
Yeah, that's fire. Yeah, dude. Well,
hey, did you open up the verse for me? Did you open up that? I need that 16.
oh man, yeah, that whole session was crazy. The time signature changes and everything. It's basically a dance musical that we're recording for.
it's an hour and a half show essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to mix it.
Yeah, and then you gotta mix it. That's right.
No.
Yeah, no, I said it was crazy, man. Honestly, first, Ashanti, right? Asha, Auntie Asha,
Ashanti, yeah.
Ashanti, yeah, she,
Ashanti.
Ashanti, man, the process was just really crazy because like she went and laid down the vocals first, for like the hour and a half show, like, and so but it's like there's a ebb and flow to the thing, so it's not just her singing for an hour and a half. But she did all the singing parts that she needed to do, and just did they have the drone playing?
Not even to a click, right?
No,
No.
was there a click? Yeah,
No, there was a click for a lot of them. There's some parts that was just free flow, but I think 85% of the show had click.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right,
So
right,
she
right.
did it to a click. She did it to a click, and then the drone for the key, for the reference. But man, she just hit them all. There's only like one or two notes that she was like, "Hey, can we tune that?" And it was funny because I didn't know that she knew that I could do that. Like
Right.
technically, like that we had the tools to even do it. But she was like, she goes, "There's one note that I want to fix." I'm like, "Really?" So then I open it up and I pull up the Melodyne, and then it was only like, I don't know, bro, 25 cents off. Like it was barely under. And of course, once you fix it, you could feel that like that glue. Like once the key is right, it just feels so right. And but yeah, she was only like 25 cents off. And I was like, bro, your ears are crazy. And but it took me, bro, like all of like 3 or 4 days to even understand it, because this is Indian music. You know what I'm saying? This is way classical, super advanced music that I don't even know really what I'm listening to. And so it took me like 4 days to even understand like really what a whole bar and a whole phrase really means in that world.
Yeah. So essentially, I think there was a lot of middle compromise that we had to do because, like you said, right, the phrase could be 8 beats, but a bar is only 4 beats. So we had to, figure out that math in the
Right.
middle. But I think your experience, working with me in that Carnatic music field for the past few years definitely helped, because I don't think
I
anybody
agree.
else would have been able to pick up as quick as you did.
Correct.
With the things that we needed. So I think, it could have been actually 8 days that we needed to do, but we got a lot done within the 6 days. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Actually, you're totally right about that. And that's we talked about that in one of our early podcasts, bro, about the right engineer in the chair just really saves you a lot of time, and you being able to crank out 4 records in one night versus 1 or 2. And it's just the speed and what Sid just said, how quickly can you pick up on what's going on. And that's something I'm gonna touch on the mix shop too. Like how do you become the artist, and so, but yeah, with this project, man, it was bananas. And then so by day 5, Ashanti was like, "Who are you?" Like she was on me because I'm flying like how I usually do, because I'm catching the 2 bars, because it ain't a bar. You know how, yeah, because even with rappers, right, you can be like, "Yo, take me back 1 bar," but like say the phrase 1 bar takes up 2 bars of time. So 1 bar doesn't mean literally 1 bar on the grid. And so that was going on, but really this 1 bar phrase is really like 4 bars, and the time signature is a 7/8, so it's like it's like all really scary.
Right.
It's all really really scary. And then things happen in 3s, Sid? Is that correct? Like
Yeah. There was a couple that happened in 3s, couple that happened in 5s, and it was all over the place. But I think
holy moly.
we learned a ton too on time signature, like arrangement in Pro Tools.
Yeah, the mapping of it all.
What do you think was like the one main thing that you learned from that session? Because I learned a ton.
Man, I think maybe what I learned from that session, my favorite thing that I learned was like setting like the same way you do markers or like tempo changes, doing the time signature changes in the grid. Like that, like really worked, because that's not something that I normally work with, like doing that many time signature changes. And I was like, yo, this is really advanced tools.
We're talking like 20 time signature and tempo changes, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
there was a lot.
Back to back to back to back. Yeah.
There's one drum segment that has like 5 or 6, like in one part.
No way.
There's like 7 changes.
No way.
Back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah,
Wow.
each segment is like 2 minutes or 3 minutes long or something like that. But that's the thing, right? Those changes signify whoever the character is playing that role. Each character gets a certain time signature, and that's how we're,
That's so cool.
showcasing that.
Bro, it was also so cool. But even, what was crazier is Sid, man, my bad, bro. It's the math, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all good at math, bro. Like somebody's good at math over there because, like, even the auntie was like, so this and a half, and this is and a half, da 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 da. So you should have 75 bars, and then there's like a piece of pride there of like check your math. It's like because they already did it, like and counted it. And so when I go and I highlight the whole thing, I was like, I have 75 exactly. And they're like, yes, yeah, I knew it. And it's like, gee, like, but that just like, that's like really just shows you the level that these people are really working at. Like the dancers, the drummers, the violinists, like the flautists, like everybody's at that tip top level. So everybody got to cook. And hey, thank you, Sid, because that means I get to play at that level too. And if it wasn't for like the language and culture barrier, I'd be rocking and rolling too. I'll give you two,
right. And I think, but like I said before, like I think you've hung out with me enough in that world.
Right.
Where you know a good bit of it,
I've absorbed
I think
a lot of it, yeah.
Being able to be next to you and help each other guide through that process definitely sped things up too. Because even for me, I don't move as fast as you in Pro Tools, but I know what's going on, so I'm just like, hey, do this.
This is true. This is true.
Do this, and then it's like we're I guess closing that gap of speed closer and closer as we went farther and farther. Into the
I
week.
agree. Yeah, and for people that don't know, Sid went to audio engineering school with me as well. And so, Sid, were you a salutatorian of your?
Yeah, we were both salutatorians.
We were both salutatorians of our classes. Yeah. So, so we went to school.
Bien huele bichos. Like, proper. Yeah.
I don't think we're allowed to say that, right?
Yeah, totally. Wait, fully. I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends.
I didn't bring it up this time, right?
Huh?
I'm not the one that brought it up this time.
I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends. They co-sign it. They give me a pass.
Yo, the pass is crazy.
You're sick.
Yo. I was gonna ask something and kind of forgot.
Oh, my bad.
But was it the Wait, are you saying something, Sid?
No.
I guess I just hear something else.
Background noise outside or something.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? On those sessions. No, I completely forgot. I've been trying to
go walk through a door for him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reset.
Exactly. No, yeah, I'm excited. I was gonna say, the once it's done, right? Because it's still not exactly done, right, Sid?
Yeah. So the arrangement is essentially done.
Right.
We just need to go and like bounce everything out and like move things around a little bit here and there. But overall, the main skeleton of it is pretty much done. We just need to add more stuff to it.
Okay. Yeah, right. So then how do the characters and maybe the dancers, I guess, like how does everybody practice it in the meantime?
So right now everybody has the rough mix and the rough choreographies done already. Like as the week was going on, we were taking that music and already starting to choreograph on the back end. So as we were making the music, the choreography is happening. And then once we start finalizing the music, the choreography of the dance adjusts to the changes that we've made. So it's a very hand-in-hand process, right? So say, for example, we choreograph something and it doesn't seem or feel right, then we'll have to come into the music side of things, maybe add a couple of beats here, add more space here. So, and that's the beauty of it, because usually up until now, we've always choreographed to the music that's already been done. We've never had the freedom to say, hey, we actually don't like this part of the music, take this out. I want the music to fit to this dance. It was always the other way around.
Yeah, you producing for real.
Yeah, producing both on the dance and the music side of things. So
basically, I just want to say, basically we're gonna win a Grammy off of this. You know what I'm saying? Like Sid done brought a Grammy through the doors, man. Like because the project is incredible, elaborate, hours long, all the technical things that are required and things like that. So I just think, hey, it's just like a fire. It's like, think about it. It's like music and dance and the art of it all, right, bro? Sid, how like all the lighting, the colors, the dresses, like the makeup, like everything that happens with it. Like
I want to go see
story.
This. Like once this is like all said and done, we need to go. We have to be there. When do you guys perform it, bro?
Yeah, so it hasn't been launched yet, but we're thinking January 11th.
Are we leaking this right now?
This is definitely
on our podcast. Are we leaking it right now?
I don't think any of our audience listens, but we're leaking it. We're leaking
They're about to.
That's cool. Go get your tickets right now.
Yeah, right.
What are you talking about?
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah, we'll get you some VIP tickets. Get you all in the front row.
Let's
What?
go.
For sure.
Let's go.
Where is this gonna be at? And I'm asking a lot of
I
questions.
guess we're
but-
just launching the whole thing right now, unofficially.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Well, just say like, is it a theater or is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
like a, I don't know, something else.
Okay, I'll say this because our school's only been known to perform at one theater in Georgia, and it's at the Gas South Theater. So.
Oh, okay.
Naturally.
Ah, sick. Oh yeah, I need one of them balcony joints, my boy. What? I need a balcony. No, that's hard.
We need another mix engineer though. I'm just saying.
Oh, I think for me it was really, really cool project, man. Just being able to work with you guys, because I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's any other engineering I can see that could keep up and be able to do what Esco did, because there was a creative aspect to the way he engineered that whole project. And again, it can't be replicated. And I think, me also having that chemistry with Esco,
That's right.
it just worked out so well.
Very important. 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the main things of like being an amazing recording engineer is I've always heard it as like working the room.
Yeah.
Or it has a slightly different term than that, but it's somewhere around there. I just haven't said it in a long time. But it's like you really do have to own the room, and you have to, and you spending so much time with Sid,
That's right.
you already have that leg up on
That's true.
being able to like pick up on certain cultural things or whatever. So now you fit in the room.
100%.
That's it. All you're doing is fitting in the room.
Which is actually the hard part of like being
The
an
hardest
engineer.
part
Yeah.
of being the engineer is do you fit inside of this
Yeah.
culture?
Yeah.
Because it could be all types of cultures,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so do you fit? That's number one. And then number two is, can you keep up technically?
Yeah.
Can you now start picking up on, like, imagine that by day 4 or 5, like you said, when you finally started to get it, you still don't get it.
Correct.
You're still not picking up on, like, bro, like,
So
I've been telling
I'm
you, if I say one bar, I don't mean one bar. I mean 5 or keep
Yeah.
up. We're in 5-5 right, or no, we're in 7-8 right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when it gets frustrating.
Man,
It's like,
I'm a super one. We even one up exactly what you're saying is that. So although this is the first big session I engineered with Sid in the school, I've watched these types of like performances or plays or like like the dancing of it all and the exact style of musicians, like meaning flute, violin, like all the exact same scenario on stage. I've been around it a lot actually for years.
yeah.
Bruh, it wasn't until the session that I finally understood what was going on. Like,
Exactly.
and when I mean what, I mean like I'm referring to like the math.
Yeah.
I'm referring to like why it's why is this different than the last thing that I just heard? Like, why is this bar different than the one before? Like what? Like, and it really has to do with like, bro, which beat did they start on in this bar versus that bar? And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this is going on. This is extremely difficult, and it even made it even crazier when I finally understood it, because I'm like, oh yeah, so think about it as this: I was ignorant and I didn't know, and that was actually nice, because now I'm not ignorant and I know that I don't know, and I'm like, oh, so
Right.
yeah, basically, I don't know anything. That's how I feel.
You still walk away with like feeling that way. But I mean, now that's like another notch under your belt. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's
wait.
like another.
Big credit.
Yeah, bro. Like that's like training at the same time that you're learning, at the same time that you're executing, at the same time that you're like,
Yeah.
learning something for next time. And bro, like that's beautiful. And yeah, thank you, Sid, for bringing that project over here, bro.
Yeah, man.
Because we finally taught Esco something new. He knows goddamn everything around here. So
It really gave me a reason to experiment. I'll tell you that. You're definitely right to say that, because I appreciate the ability for someone to allow me to take a risk. So, in like rapper universe, that's not really allowed. It's like, do you do it exactly this way and shut up and do it again?
sure.
But in this case, I'm like, yo, Sid, I want to use this mic on this today. And then I go, I don't like how that mic sounds. I need to swap it out. And then, I'm going to use the cloud lifters for, oh, nope, that doesn't work at all. Hold on, let me. And then you kind of just butcher it once or twice. But then, like, okay, cool, I can fix that, even though I didn't do so well in that one recording, in that one instance, but I can adjust. And So like just having the opportunity to like do all those things, that allows me to actually learn, like learn because of the fashion of how Atlanta music scene is. This isn't Nashville, right? Where you were doing like drums every day or something like that, or
Right.
and at least Tree Sound got the facility for it, so they're like always kicking ass doing drums. Or man, the other day I was there, man, like at 7 a.m, the guy Marty was there doing like, I don't know, bro, it was like 30 at the 30-piece like string section, and it was like amazing. I'm like, dude, well, I didn't see it go down. I just walked in though, and I saw all the chairs arranged. It was like really like 20, but I'm like, wow. But they get that opportunity, and so we don't have a facility yet. Nor did I come up in a place that had that facility. I got to touch everything, like a drum one day, and then music and bass another day, and da. But yeah. So Sid, again, thank you, man, because it's like an opportunity to learn and grow, all with something that I've been sitting with for a long time. But now it's like another level, like you just said, another notch on the thing. It's like, dude. And I really think we can win a Grammy, man. I really, really do. Like, I really, really, really do.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Bryan to mix this because he's
Yes.
going to put some amazing sauce on it. I've already heard some of the projects he's done for me earlier this year. So I think, like, I'm really excited to see what this is going to sound like at the end. Because it's funny, like, right now, whatever scratch we have is what the standard is in India. Like, that's,
Yeah.
you know, very few artists
Oh.
actually mix better than that. There's
Yeah.
only, like, maybe
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah, our rough
Yeah.
is already on them.
Right. Our rough is pretty much the standard release for a lot of the music that's out there.
So once you go that extra level, you're like really blowing them out the water.
We're really winning a Grammy.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to
Hey,
introduce
yo.
like this new cinematic realm to
The
it, where
recording
it's just like,
account.
hey, it's okay to mix in a not so traditional way, and it can creatively be beautiful. Because I want it
Man,
to
yeah.
be more of like a auditory experience rather than it being very, very traditional. Because in music it's still traditional, right? But we just wanted to make sure it's like
Correct.
a whole new experience for the people listening.
Yo, actually, this project in particular would really benefit from it being in spatial audio.
Oh wow!
I think we should mix it in
Just
spatial
gave me
audio.
a reason.
Like,
So I'm opening Atmos tomorrow. Like I
yeah. I just gave you the.
Now I have a reason to pull up Atmos. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we keep talking about it. Now it's like
Sid, you're definitely winning a Grammy now.
open up the budget. Yeah.
You know,
Relax, guys.
you-
There's
you
only
know-
so much budget I have.
yeah, you're right. You
No,
know-
I was talking to
yeah, that means I gotta buy new speakers and monitor stations. That's what it means. I gotta buy all new equipment. Sid, what you brought up a really good point about like adding a new sauce and a new level to that it could sonically be different, but culturally it's still traditional, right? Still the same. And so that reminds me of Billy Hume would be one of the people, and then the OG, the reggaeton OG, where but I'll talk about Billy. My understanding of Billy's story is that like he's in Atlanta, he's a rock guy, and then he starts working with rappers, and he has these stories up on his YouTube, which please go check out. Freaking Out with Billy Hume, like what an incredible guy, podcast, everything's so amazing, so knowledgeable, man. Like I learn every time I watch his things. And so, but he was saying how really as a rock guy, like nobody really understood the rappers. They're like, what is this rap stuff, bro? This is not even real music. That's like just kind of the history of it here. But, Billy was like, I don't know, I kind of like these guys. Because he met one guy at Waffle House and one guy at the grocery store or whatever it is, right? So, excuse me. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that it's someone outside of the culture, like Billy, and there's a lot of people with that story that brought a sound that the culture needed. And because Billy was a rock guy, he was already working with distressors, and like just really understood amps and really understood loudness and microphones and microphone choices and da-da-da. So the moment that he runs into a Bone Crusher, bro, you know how loud Bone Crusher is? He's really loud, man. So who's going to handle that, right? So maybe, a regular recording guy, a church guy, because that's kind of part of history too. They don't really know how to handle that, but the rock guy knows exactly how to handle that. Like, yeah, put a 58 in front of that guy and make him record, or put a U87. The 87 is gonna hold up, and thus therefore building the sound of Atlanta. Like Billy Hume is that guy. He never likes to take the flowers, but it's like, nah, bro, that guy's that guy. So to Sid, to Sid,
here.
yeah, out of here.
Yeah.
To the Sid's point, it's a guy on the outside that has certain knowledge that can like totally like build a sound and bring a new element that was missing, that nobody knew was missing from the inside. and you know, and being in an ally in a respectful way too. Because like I'm just little Esco. I'm not here to. I never even thought that I was gonna be working on this type of music with Sid, right? So it's like I don't. It's not a pride thing. I don't. Like I just said, I don't even know what I'm doing with this. But I added my little piece, and then Sid is like, "Yep, new standard. We're doing this." I'm like, "Yo, really? Like, okay, let's win a Grammy. Let's go. If that's what you say, so you know, what I mean? Hey, let's go."
I didn't even know this was an opportunity to potentially win a Grammy with this, because it was like when you mentioned it, and I was just like, "Wait, is that actually a reality that we can hope for?" And so just knowing that is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to put it out on all of the stores, so it can just live in digitally and whatever else
As an official release.
Yeah, as an official release, and that way we really can like, you could probably do the whole body of work, but then maybe it's just one piece of it. You know what I mean? From that body of work that actually is like becomes a heavy contender. Sure. You know what I mean? But it could go either which way. And
yeah, because similar to like Hamilton, right, where Hamilton has all the separate songs that are written and produced and da-da-da-da. The whole thing is a play that you can watch on Disney or whatever. But you're right, there are separate releases. So that's up to,
It's like a soundtrack. It's kind of like a soundtrack kind of deal. But yeah, I mean, hey.
I don't even know. So that's you guys figure that one out.
That's going to be really cool. One thing that I really like about, say, even the stuff that we've worked on in the past, Sid, is the fact that like once you start working on it, you realize that it's all of the right ingredients. So there's nothing fighting something else. You know what I mean? Yes. And so it's actually really fun and really I want to say really easy, but it's just it makes my job a lot easier for everything to be like, oh, okay, this goes here, and this goes right here, and this goes right here, and this goes right here, and then and everything just kind of falls into place.
Everything is complementary.
So long as you don't like impose your will on it, then which that's where most people fail. They're like, well, I want it to sound like this, and it's just like, no, just. What does it want to sound like, And I just can't wait to see the end result of like all of the production and all of the ingredients falling in the pot, and I could just light that bitch up, and then that's it.
That's gonna be so exciting, man.
No, I think it's really cool because we also produced from an engineer's perspective too, because we have that engineering background. Because a lot of musicians don't have. I mean, they have great ears, right? But they don't. I feel like they don't know what it means to be an engineer sometimes. So knowing that, right? So my whole thing was, any productions that I do, I always try to be like, okay, how can this be easier on mixing? How can this be easier on mastering? Can I just knock out most of that busy work right now?
Yeah. Incredible.
No, that's sick. You're hired. For sure.
Oh man, I think I'm already doing something else for Society Sound right now.
Official podcast producer.
No, for sure. Well, cool, guys. I mean, I think
we covered it.
We covered a few things. We had fun. It was a great coming back into the action. We have some really cool other other podcasts that are on the way, like some really cool guests that we finally like lined up. Kind of. But they are like lined up,
and coordinating.
We have some like really cool guests on the way, so make sure, I guess I'll say, we've never done this, but like make sure to like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're supposed to have call to actions on our podcast. We just be talking boo boo.
Yeah. Just subscribe so that when we put out the next ones, like you'll be the first to get it and all of that good stuff
on Spotify.
Do you want to plug in any of your upcoming albums or your stand-up comedy tour, anything?
Nah, just follow Esco _ATL on IG. You'll catch the whole thing. Follow Society Sound on IG.
Follow at Bryan Anzel. Ya tu sabes. Follow at Sid Kel. And that's it. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
Society Sound Popcast.